What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to another podcast coming at you on a Friday night. We just had to bring this to you because there's some crazy stuff going on. One of the most crazy round ones I think I've seen since I've started watching football. In all honesty, with the amount of trades that happened, I think I stopped watching it for 20 minutes because someone came in my room to say something. I turn around, AJ Brown's been traded, Marquise Brown's been traded. All this stuff's happened. So we're gonna jump right into it. First thing we're going to talk about, we're watching the draft live as this goes on right now. Two huge big name guys who are projected to go in the first round, one because of a bad quarterback class and one because of his pure talent, have fallen to round 3 today. First, we're going to talk about Nakobi Dean, the linebacker from Georgia. Many think this guy is going to be a great player. There must have been some sort of JOK situation because JOK didn't even fall this far. And Dean was kind of in the same class as him. And now he's gone at pick 83 in the round.
83.
Which is insane. There must have been some, heart condition, something wrong, because I feel like we're missing out on something. Jose, obviously, let's just talk about the Eagles in general. They landed Jordan Davis in the first round with a trade up, assuming that they were trying to get Jameson Williams. They said, F it. We're going to go and get an established guy instead. They go to Tennessee. Hey, we're giving you pick 18. You go get Treylon Burks. Give us A.J. Brown because you guys aren't going to pay him. That's a scary team in the NFC East. It might be the best team in the NFC East right now. I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, the Eagles had a scary good, offseason in general. They restructured Fletcher Cox's contract, brought him back on a 1 year. They've still got Javon Hargrave. Now they take Jordan Davis to learn under both of those guys. And then they pass on Nakobi in the second, take their future center, who Jason Kelsey literally just said is basically a mini version of him.
That's high praise.
And they're still able to get Nakobi Dean in the third round. And they got A.J. Brown. As a Cowboys fan, I am upset, but also kind of hyped to be able to have, a high level of competition in the NFC East. The Giants also get Kayvon Thibodeau, which is going to be super fun to watch him against Tyler Smith twice a year now. So, Cowboys. I keep going back to the Cowboys, but as an Eagles fan, if I was an Eagles fan, I'm fucking hyped right now because you just got arguably the best middle linebacker.
You just got a Southern Alabama receiver, Jalen Tolbert. You guys just picked at pick 88 right now. Is right.
We did need to go receiver, but
you'll see how he is. I don't know too much about him. Like we said, Eagles definitely atop of the list of draft winners. I think the team that's had the best draft so far, you got to go with the Jets. They potentially got the best receiver in the draft, the best corner in the draft, one of the top 3 edge rushers in the draft, and they got the best running back in the draft. You don't see that happen much. From what I had been hearing, Jermaine Johnson was expected to potentially go number 4 overall. They go back and trade back into the first round after already selecting Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner to get him. And then they get Breece Hall on top of that. Insane. It kind of signifies the end of the Michael Carter era, in my honest opinion. Breece Hall is just such a better prospect. I think we've been knowing this ever since he's been dominating there at Iowa State. What do you think about this team? Because I think if Zach Wilson takes just a good enough second-year jump, they can really be the second-best team in this division.
Yeah, they are going to look to contend in this division. It's not as hot as it may sound because this team is low-key putting together a very nice young squad. If Zach Wilson can just be, above average, he can be, a fringe, 25 touchdown, 4,000-yard guy. That's really all they need. They've got all the weapons they need. Their O-line, they're sticking with Becton. They've got Breece Hall now. If they use, Michael Carter as sort of a committee type thing. That that's going to be a solid team over there. And man, as a Jets fan, I'm hyped for the future too. Same with the Eagles. Like, they're building a very, very solid young core. This is exciting.
100%. Again, we're going to look at pick 20. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they decide to get the guy who knows how to play in that stadium. They go Kenny Pickett. Many weren't thinking that. It was presumed that after countless meetings together that Malik Willis was going to be that guy to be the Pittsburgh Steelers heir apparent to Ben Roethlisberger. It seems like they've gone Pickett, more of an NFL ready prospect. I think he's got a Kirk Cousins-esque ceiling, which as much as Kirk Cousins gets hated on, Kirk Cousins is a good NFL quarterback. He can play like a top 12 quarterback at times, when he's on his game. What is your opinions on Pickett being the pick and Malik Willis falling all the way to the third round to go to the Tennessee Titans to potentially replace Tannehill in the next few years?
Yeah, it's honestly pretty surprising for Malik Willis to fall all the way to pick 86 when a lot of mocks had him, sometimes even in the top 10. I saw some mocks, the Lions taking him, the Steelers taking him at 20, but I think Pickett is probably a better fit with the Steelers. I mean, a much more, polished style player. And I mean, they also got Pickens to pair with, they're already very solid receiver core. So Pickett to Pickens, he doesn't have to start right away. Trubisky will probably start day one if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't expect them to necessarily be anywhere near the playoffs, but they might surprise some people next year.
Yeah. Perhaps one of the teams that made one of the more interesting drafts because I feel like their quarterback got more angry, but at the same time, their team got better. And in this case, there could be two teams I'm talking about here because there's the Packers and then there's the Ravens. The Ravens, they traded Marquise Brown to reunite him with Kyler Murray out in the desert. But they got potentially two of the best players in this draft in the first round with Tyler Linderbaum that they traded back into for. And they got Kyle Hamilton, who immediately solidifies himself into the defensive player of the year run. With being in that system, he could be the best safety there since, Ed Reed or Eric Weddle. It's that he's that good of a player. And then in the second round, they go and get a steal. And if he can play like he did at Michigan with David Ojabo, if he comes back healthy, that's going to be a great pick for them. They missed out on getting Zadarius Smith. He kind of played them, decided to go to the Vikings. If he can fill that role for them, because they always lose their pass rushers, it seems like, whenever any of them are decent. And that's just an unfortunate situation. So, yeah, the Vikings, a good draft. So, the Ravens. And they also got Travis Jones, who's a good defensive tackle in the third round. What's your opinions on this Ravens team? Because now Rashad Bateman should be the guy to step into wide receiver one role with guys like Duvernay in there. You still have Mark Andrews. It's objectively a worse receiving core. They spent, on no offensive skill position so far, and there's not really much of guys that jump off the page further down this board. But what do you think about Baltimore? You're competing in the competitive conference we've seen in a long time. How are they there?
I love their first round. Obviously this is a Ravens fan dream, despite, the bittersweet of losing Marquise Brown. But Kyle Hamilton, who before the combine, many had as, a top 5 player in this draft. I even said he could turn out to be the best player in this draft. Tyler Linderbaum, the best interior O lineman in the draft, also a need for them. And David Ojabo in the second, that's such a huge steal. Travis Jones, a plug and play guy, a huge nose tackle, which they also needed with, I believe, Brandon Williams they just lost. Probably the best defensive fit that they could have gone with Travis Jones here. He's going to be there for a while. This D-line is going to be disgusting next year. And That's something you need in this division. I mean, we talk about this division as sort of the gritty, down in the trenches style of division, and I mean they're definitely geared up for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
losing Marquise Brown, like,
yeah,
it is what it is. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. But you don't want to piss off Lamar though, because he's the guy that's leading your franchise, and he hasn't signed his extension, has he? I don't think he has. If I'm correct, he hasn't signed the extension. So I do want to ask though. We haven't talked about your Cowboys yet. You went offensive line in the first round, which, like you said, you were going to jump off a bridge or do something crazy if they didn't. They go to Tulsa. They get Tyler Smith. I think they were hoping to see a guy like Zion Johnson or Kenyon Green go there, but they went higher than people expected at 15 and 17 respectively. Was this the guy that you wanted? Did you want a Bernard Raymond out of Central Michigan, who ended up going in the third round, crazy enough? What's your thoughts on him as a raw prospect to replace La'el Collins' production?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think he's going to have to start right away, which is probably not the best thing for him, especially in a team that, gets such high, not praise, but like the Cowboys O-line is like, that's like pedigree right there. So if you're having to start right away as a rookie, you better be able to play. And if he can't play right away, it's not going to be a good look. But yeah, this was the guy I wanted originally. I mean, it was either him or Linderbaum, but I doubt Linderbaum could be moved to tackle. So this was the best option. We had a huge hole at tackle after losing La'el Collins. And we also lost Connor Williams to the Dolphins. But, I mean, we have Connor McGovern, who I guess is going to take that role. But, like, we had nobody at tackle. So if we didn't go tackle, we were kind of screwed. So hopefully he can at least, not be a liability. That's really all I want. It's just don't be a liability.
100%. I got to ask, kind of going away from like the top guys of this draft, and he can still be first round. What's a guy that you're excited for in his new system that you think can really show out, or a guy that the fit just like, it seems like it fits like a glove? Maybe you're looking second, third round already, or maybe it's a first round guy that you're like, wow, I'm so happy he's in that system.
Yeah. James Cook is a super, super good fit for the Buffalo Bills. We've been talking about them getting a running back, who they can just utilize as a workhorse. And I mean, this is a guy you can use, between the tackles. He can catch passes out the backfield. So I think him and Devin Singletary, I believe they still have Zach Moss, they showed to have a better run game there.
Mm-hmm.
Another same type deal, Ken Walker. Him and Rashad Penny, like one of my favorite analysts, Theo Ash, like he said they unironically have the best running back tandem in the league. And I might have to agree. I mean,
it's Cleveland, but it's close.
Yeah, this is like a really nice 1-2 punch here. I mean, Ken Walker, Rashad Penny, they got Charles Cross. It's going to be nice. I don't know what they're doing with their QB situation, but their run game is at least solid. Another one, I'm super happy for Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah.
So happy for that guy.
Michael Strahan says he's going to be his mentor, so that's a guy who has the sack record, of the single season sack record, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I know that they were trying to paint the narrative of him being a diva, and then all of a sudden he's going to New York, the bright lights and everything. But I think he's really built for that type of system. If he ended up in Houston or Detroit or something, I don't think he would have the same, like, not motor, but like, I don't know, just like that dog, with the bright lights of New York, I feel like he just performs better. And I mean, he's going to play the Cowboys twice a year on national television. So
yeah. Man, I mean, my favorite fit's got to be my guy, my favorite player from this draft, Treylon Burks, going to the Titans. His comp is literally AJ Brown / like Deebo Samuel. He's filling the role for him. Is it too soon to say that this is like a Stephon Diggs, like Justin Jefferson situation? Not in the fact that he's going to be as good as Justin Jefferson. I'm not going to go as far as
Right.
that, but the fact that
Right.
like it's a win-win trade where both teams get a receiver that they need for their situation. Because now it looks like Malik Willis will be the guy to take over for Ryan Tannehill after Tannehill finds a suitor. Who knows? Maybe the Titans say, F it, we're trying to get rid of him. They call the Panthers up. We know you need a quarterback. Let's talk. That opens up a lot of scenarios here. But Burks, he should fit well there. He still has Robert Woods alongside him, so he's not the sole option on that team. I love that fit there. Furthermore, looking at fits, I think Jordan Davis fits perfectly with the Eagles. They're a team that loves build up on that the defensive and offensive line. And he just has that character to be a Philly guy, I feel.
Exactly.
Furthermore,
Olave
should be a good fit if Michael Thomas comes back. I think they need each other to play off each other. Who else do I like? I think Pickens, I was texting Chase about this. I think Pickens fits perfectly in Pittsburgh for the fact that I think there's two guys in the league, despite the fact that they've dealt with A.J. Brown, can really get a guy's character in focus, and that's Mike Tomlin and that's Bill Belichick. I feel like Pickens isn't this AB type of personality. He shouldn't be. He's not at that level. I think that he'll be able to get him right. Who knows? Is Chase Claypool the answer there long term in Pittsburgh? I don't think so. I think he might be the heir apparent there. And Sky Moore should be a good fit. He's going to be, he's going to be he's going to fit to do what Tyreek Hill would do for them in the open field. Obviously, a far less level. They still have Marcus Valdez-Scantling, who's your speed guy there. But I think Sky Moore fits the mold of like the small receiver for them. Elsewise, Nakobi Dean, that should be a great fit as well. Jelani Woods, I like getting the uber athletic tight end out of Virginia heading to the Colts. They seem to always develop their tight ends well, whether that be Milali Cox, Jack Doyle, so on and so forth. They've always had good tight ends come through that team. Now I got to ask you, what pick? I think the Patriots one, everyone was like, what? But what's the team that we were like, you went with that guy? Like, I feel like you should have gone in a different direction. I think the Commanders are a team we got to talk about here.
Yeah. Also, Niners just took a running back, Tyrion Davis-Price.
Ooh, of course we took a running back. We would never not take a running back.
Yeah. Let me see. As far as like terrible picks.
Or like a fit you don't think makes sense. Like he could be a good player, you don't like the fit.
Yeah. The Packers always kind of puzzle me with their drafting. They didn't go receiver until the second round, and they took two defensive players. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe the fit might be decent, but I don't know about that. Let me see.
I got another question, though, while we think about this. I saw some people saying that Ike Ekwonu is going to be the reason why CMC has a resurgence. A great run blocker. He's got to share up the pass blocking. What do we think about that situation? Because they haven't addressed quarterback. Are they still in the race for any of these guys? They haven't drafted a quarterback yet in these rounds. There's still guys like Corral up for availability. We already saw Willis and Ritter and Pickett go. But what do you think about what do you think about the situation with the Panthers?
I like them taking Ekwonu. I think Ekwonu was like my 1A, 1B tackle. It was either, him and Neal. So, it's a huge need for them. And they were competitive with Darnold for like 5 or 6 games. I guess they're just going to run it back with them. Maybe they circle back on Baker Mayfield. But, I love it for the sake of Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if he's going to get back to, that pre-injury level just because the injuries are so decimating. But, with a tackle like this, that could boost your level of production immensely. especially in between the tackles or, on like a screen, outside screen or something. But yeah, I mean, the Panthers, they're a bit confusing, but I don't think they're done. I don't think their offseason moves are close to done.
And then let's talk about the number 1 overall pick. Obviously, Travon Walker didn't seem like he'd even be in the first round a couple months ago. And like I heard someone say, he took off the pads and he became a first overall pick. I don't think we've ever seen a guy rise this quickly to being nothing to first overall pick in the matter of the college season ends and they're not even in that contention. Do you think the Jags made the wrong pick here?
I don't know if they made the wrong pick here because I don't think he's a bad player. I just don't think they had to take him at 1. If they were going to go with Walker anyway, why not trade down a few spots? When you have the number 1 overall pick twice in a row, it's not a good sign of how your organization is managed, right? Mm-hmm. And you've just got to make sure that your pick doesn't suck. And I think that's what they're trying to do here with Walker. I think if they would have gone with a riskier player like Kayvon, or I don't know, Evan Neal or something, they run that risk of fucking the pick up. And by taking someone like Travon Walker, who's arguably a safer player, you can trade down to take those type of players and potentially get some more value, maybe another third or something. So, I mean, I don't hate the player. It's just a weird number 1 overall pick.
Yeah. And I mean, the situation with trading down is what I've heard is you can always trade down, but if no one wants to take that pick.
Panthers just took Matt Corral.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Oh, fuck. Damn.
All right. Okay. So he could be, man, he's probably better than Sam Darnold at this point.
That's right.
I like that pick.
Okay.
Shoot.
Okay.
Hey, quick instant reactions. What do we think? Do we think he's the day 1 guy? I'd say so.
I think he beats out Darnold.
I would say so. And I think he works well. I think that eliminates the situation for them going for a guy like Jimmy G. I think Corral's pro ready. It's going to be good that he has a security blanket in Christian McCaffrey, that he has DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. I think he could have a really good rookie year. I think he's set up well. He's got Ike Ekwonu. He's got Taylor Moton.
Yep.
They got a solid team out there. But he's going to be Matt Rule's praying this man can keep his job.
I wonder how Robbie Anderson feels about this. He always has something to say.
He'll be on Twitter shortly.
He hasn't tweeted anything yet.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about in this draft so far? Like what teams do you think there's teams that from this draft that you could expect to potentially do a lot better than people thought? I mean, obviously the Jets, but like what's a team that you think like they filled some holes that could really like push them maybe, I don't know, where they're at either Super Bowl contention, playoff contention, so on and so forth.
Yeah. The Vikings had a sneaky good draft. I mean, they traded out of that first round or later down in the first round, and then they take
people like that guy.
Yeah, some huge needs. Lewis, is it Kine or Sign?
Sign, I think.
Yeah. They needed some secondary help. They get it with Booth and Kine or Sign, and then they get, interior offensive line with Ed Ingram. They take a linebacker, Asamoah. It was a solid draft for them. And I think for a team that's been on the fringe of that like wild card spot, this could push them over the edge into, securing that spot. With the Packers arguably getting worse. You never know.
I like what KC did. I think Carl Loftus is going to do well in that system. It's good that you put him in a system where he's not expected to be the lead pass rusher. McDuffie's a guy that people have a lot of high praise for. I mean, you're talking about in the group chat earlier today. He might be a little bit undersized, but so are some of the best cornerbacks we've seen in the league. Then they got Sky Moore, like we mentioned. And have they gotten anyone else so far?
They took Brian Cook in the second.
Oh yeah, at the bottom of the second. Safe
Who
guess.
has a picture of James Cook on ESPN?
It's funny, but no. Yeah, I like what they're done so far. Obviously, the wide receivers are going to be a question. You still got Travis Kelce. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is being highly undervalued right now. Yeah. Ooh, good question. Good one here. Which of the rookie wide receivers so far are you looking at and you're saying, hey, I want to draft this guy in fantasy football next year? Because there's always a rookie
for sure
that's going to be like a top 10 fantasy player, and you're like, damn it, I should have picked him. How did I not know?
Yeah.
Like, who screams production?
I mean, the one who's probably getting slid, or two, I guess, who are getting slid into the immediate wide receiver one role is Treylon Burks and Christian Watson. Those are guys who are immediately going to get a ton of targets, right? What they do with those targets is a different question. I think Burks probably has a higher upside than Watson. But Jameson Williams is a sneaky, probably a waiver pickup. He probably won't be drafted. Similar to Amon-Ra last year, we saw how good he was, even with Jared Goff as his QB. So now we got the best deep threat in the draft to the Lions, who needed a receiver badly. I like Jameson Williams. He's going to be a sneaky pickup for fantasy football next year.
All right. I mean, looking at the top guys, Wilson, he's good, but like I think we're seeing a breakout from more next year. You still got Corey Davis on that team. I don't think he'll be bad. I think he's going to be worth considering on your fantasy rosters. Drake London's very hit or miss for me because I don't think it's dependent on him. It's dependent on Marcus Mariota and how he plays. Because if Marcus Mariota
or Desmond Ridder,
that would be crazy to see if Desmond Ritter's the guy that takes over at quarterback. But yeah, I think Mariota will start the year as the starter.
Yep.
Who do I want to be bold and say it's going to be?
Could be Pickens.
Yeah, it could be Pickens, but I don't know if they're going to throw enough on that team because they have Najee Harris. If Michael Thomas, actually, give me Olave. I think Olave will have a really good rookie year. Him and Treylon Burks are two guys that I'll look at.
I mean,
and then the running backs.
Running backs.
Do you think Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker? Who do you put above who?
Ken Walker. Ken Walker.
Ken Walker higher
Easy.
than
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I think the Jets are going to throw the ball a lot more than the Seahawks, and Rashad Penny has a very high injury tendency, which will give Kenneth Walker a ton of opportunity to be the workhorse for that backfield.
And Chris Carson's still there too, I'm pretty sure. Crazy.
He is, but he's also banged up all the time.
He plays 6 games.
He
puts up 17 points a game in fantasy, and then he just does not come back the rest of the season. Kenneth Walker could be special. He could be the best. He will be the best running back since Marshawn Lynch in Seattle. I mean, that's not a hot take, I don't think.
Yeah.
Any other
I
thoughts?
Like Breece Hall though.
Yeah.
But
Breece Hall
alongside Michael Carter, maybe.
They give him the Alvin Kamara comparison. If he's catching passes like that, he might need to be one in that conversation. Would you trust one of these guys to be your RB2?
Hell no. I'm not drafting any of these guys as my RB2. But as a sneaky flex play, with certain matchups, or if you got a late round pick, I don't know how high these guys are going to be projected actually.
Breece Hall is going to be projected. I think he might get the Clyde Edwards-Helaire treatment, to be honest.
Yeah, I could see that. Same with Ken Walker. I could see them, being second rounders.
Ooh, Minnesota's up after 3 quarters on Memphis. Do you think AJ Brown's a better fantasy option now, or is he a worse fantasy option?
I fucking love AJ Brown. That's such a good fit on the Eagles too. I'm so mad about that. I think he's a better fantasy option. I'm not gonna lie. He's like the perfect player Philly has needed for the past however many years, since like Alshon Jeffrey's prime.
Yeah.
Like this is a nasty, nasty guy. If he can stay healthy, like he's an instant top 10 fantasy receiver, like
Oh yeah.
arguably top 5.
Nah, he could be
Yeah.
nasty. I mean, just to think that if Jameson Williams wasn't the guy that they went with, Jameson Williams and Devontae might be the matchup.
Devontae Smith alongside AJ Brown, that's a scary
for those
sight.
two guys. Do we think there's a lot of pressures on Hurts now? If Hurts can't play well enough, I think like if he doesn't make the playoffs, he's gone. I think that's they'll hold him to that.
I think so too.
But because man, I don't want it to happen. I love Jalen Hurts, but like, imagine they get like CJ Stroud. Oh, I think you wouldn't be able to sleep at night, Jose.
This Eagles team is disgusting. I'm telling you, they got so much better. I think they're my biggest winner of the draft. They improved from a scrappy team who barely made the playoffs last year to, fringe contenders now.
All right, so let's look at the depth chart. We'll fill in as needed. At quarterback, you got Hurts, RB1, Miles Sanders. You got Ken Gainwell and Boston Scott. You got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Zach Pascal and Quez Watkins. That's a good receiving group there. Yeah. You got Dallas Goedert, one of the best tight ends in the league, of course. They have JJ Arcega-Whiteside as their 4th string tight end.
Yeah, he cannot play receiver for his fucking life.
They got Mailata. They got Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey. Of course, they drafted that center. He might slot in. If not, it's Isaac Sumalo. And then Lane Johnson. Then you got Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Javon Hargrave, Derek Barnett, Josh Sweat, Kaiser White. Very good.
Yeah, I forgot they got Kaiser White.
Nakobi Dean.
Oh my God.
Hassan Reddick, Darius Slay, Marcus Epps or Kevon Wallace, Anthony Harris, Avonte Maddox. Really, this team, if they go out and
they're a corner away from a Super Bowl.
I want you to hear this. We talked about this guy having to get moved. What if they get James Bradbury?
Oh, fuck.
What you doing?
Oh, fuck. No, they're literally a guy like that away from a Super Bowl. Like, no funny shit. This team has so much depth. Nakobi Dean is their, like, rotational linebacker. They've got Kaiser as their Mike. And then Nakobi just rotating in with Hassan Reddick.
Kaiser White had like a lot of tackles last year. He was really good on that Chargers team.
Yeah, he's a very damn, bro. The only thing is, I mean, Avonte Maddox is kind of dog.
Dog water, yeah.
Not a dog, like he is dog. So that's like making me feel better. But if they get a guy like Bradbury,
like I don't know their cap situation. The Giants are stupid if they did that, but like imagine they're like,
I think they have to
like do a third for James Bradbury. They would take that.
I don't think teams would be willing to trade for a guy that's likely going to get cut.
I would if I'm the Eagles. I'm like, I don't want any other team to have a chance to sway him. I'm throwing a pick at them.
I mean, maybe like not a valuable pick. I'd give him
like a
day 3 pick. Yeah,
a fourth. Yeah, I think a fourth would do it. Oh my gosh, could you get one of the most underappreciated corners in the NFL in Slay? James Bradbury as a 2 is insane. Maddox will fit fine in the slot. Oh my gosh,
dude!
Why are the Eagles Pascal's good? An X factor on that team too.
Why are the Eagles good? Okay, we're hyping them up, right? We're hyping them up right now, but the Eagles low key every year have some crazy like scandal or something going on. Like, like watch, they're gonna have a QB controversy like week 2.
Gardner Minshew's getting in there.
Every year they're like bombarded with injuries. So
you know what's
that's
scarier?
the only thing.
They have 2 first-round picks next year.
Oh my god.
They had the Saints.
I hate this.
Who the Saints might not be good because they don't have Sean Payton anymore. It's a whole new team.
Yeah,
you
they're
don't know
not
if it's
gonna
the
be
same
good.
old Saints. They have their pick. They could use it to trade up, get themselves, or they say, F it, let's trade back again. We'll get Caleb Williams next year. Because let's say best case scenario, Hurts is the deal. He becomes a very good quarterback, serviceable quarterback. They just use those picks on talented guys.
And him and AJ Brown work out like all the time in the offseason. Like they've got chemistry.
Because I was going to say they're a pass rusher away, but they have Hassan Reddick now.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, Jose, this is giving me sweats, bro. Actually, great team.
I actually hate this. Like, I actually fucking hate this, especially seeing how the Cowboys are just botching this fucking draft.
Yeah, this is insane. I mean, Eagles fans, I know sometimes are delusional, but shout out, like y'all team's actually legit now. Like, I'm on the train, like as in like I'm supporting y'all. Not if we playing, but if the Eagles, the fly, Eagles fly. We'll get it to you.
Jalen Hurts is my fantasy pick next year.
Ooh, and he's not even
my
getting
guy.
projected high in ESPN mock drafts yet.
No, he's my guy next year. I don't care. I mean, he was my guy last year in one of my leagues, and he was amazing pretty much the whole season up until the end.
Derek Carr might be my guy. The rushing upside isn't there, but
dude, okay, wait. They've also got Andre Dillard, who they can just like trade away for something.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and he's like
first round pick like 2 years ago.
And he's a respected guy. Oh my gosh, forgot about that. And like if Hurts is out, Gardner Minshew is a very good like serviceable quarterback.
Definitely.
Like they got a good pass rush rotation. Oh my gosh,
so mad.
I think strong safety is their weakness. Their secondary,
their secondary is just it's a little.
It's not as bad as it used to be. Slay helps it out. But
it's not the Jalen Mills and whoever the fuck else they have.
Howie, get me in there. We're bringing in James Bradbury. We're restructuring his contract. Y'all making the bowl again.
And like the thing is, somebody always breaks out. Like during the season, somebody always steps up, breaks out. Like someone is gonna be good that we have no clue about right now.
Hey,
it could be
John
the
Mechie.
5th string. Who knows?
Y'all wait on that. John Mechie gonna be crazy. Anyone interesting gone since David Bell from Purdue? Ooh, Brian Robinson to the Brian. I like that. Brian Robinson going to the Commanders.
He's low-key like a Antonio Gibson, size-wise.
Yeah, 6'2", 225. That's a big boy.
A big boy.
David Bell's a good speedster. Deshaun Watson plays some games.
Oh, yeah.
That team's still like, I don't know. I still have my question marks about that too. But at the consensus of the episode, though, we Eagles fanboying it right now. Or we drooling over the potential that the Eagles can be. Any other things you want to mention before we hop off?
No. Fuck Jerry Jones.
F Jerry Jones for leaking your draft board on a press conference and then dissing his son for taking Taco Charlton or whatever.
Like, why? What is the point of that?
Exactly. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys for listening. As always, stay tuned. We'll be doing the whole off-season grading recap and all that stuff. But hey, Coast Coast Podcast, as always, signing out. Peace.